I am resident of Collinwood for YouTube. Jules Sands, that is my buddy Patrick McCray. That's my buddy Alan Gallant. We're here to review episode 462 of Dark Shadows, written by Sam Hall, directed by John Sedgwick. This was recorded March 27th, 1968. Broadcast April 2nd, 1968. So this is the second episode after the return from 1795. Julia, Dr. Hoffman, if you will, Grayson Hall ditches the wig.
Yep.
Yes. Alan, why'd you pick this episode, buddy?
Oh, I love the hairdo. That's there's no doubt about it. I love the hairdo. I picked this episode because it's again, for me, it's one of those episodes. It reestablishes that Barnabas Collins is kind of still in his creepy phase here. He's still a vampire. And we're about to go into a radically different sort of setup, but at this point in time, he is feeling a little endangered because Vicky's returned and she's been babbling about being in 1795. So in the first scene, we get Dr. Hoffman trying to figure out what is going on with her by hypnotizing her. And in that scene, she's still wearing the wig that she wore throughout that first section of her presence on the show. And then in a later scene, she meets Barnabas out on the terrace, and she has now ditched the wig, and now it's her natural short curly hair. And they even Barnabas makes a big mention of it and makes a big to-do about it. But the whole thing about this episode is renegotiating relationships, figuring out where we're going next, if we're going anywhere, because if Vicky blurts out certain things that she may or may not know, this could be, deadly to Barnabas. So there's that drama that's building there, and it's an episode that is going to lead us very shortly into an entirely new plot line, which we don't see coming at this point. All we see is, okay, Barnabas is back to his ghoulish self, and he's going to bite Vicky and run away with her so that she doesn't, tell if she knows anything. So it was fascinating to me, and I remember the show from when I was pretty young. And then again, when I started watching the videotapes when they come out for a month, and I'd go down to my local video store and watch, for a month, I remembered this section coming back from 1795 was something that I was really favorable towards when I first rewatched it again. So those are some of the reasons.
Cool.
Things are really going on in these episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the things that makes them so likable.
Yeah.
Is that this is a very active part of the series, and if you watch it, it has a lot of newness to it. Including is this the episode where because I've seen I've written about it. I remember writing about it, where Julia and Barnabas agree they need to start being friends.
He posts it, and she sort of says, "Well, that all depends on you." So there is a negotiation going on.
Yeah,
there is a negotiation.
Because at that point, he looks at the camera and says, "What an asshole!"
Yeah,
and the laugh track goes nuts.
He doesn't trust her still. He's going to do what he's going to do on his own. He thinks like he has to deal with it. So that's when he starts to go for Vicky.
Yeah. In addition, he has had all he can stands, and he can't stands no more, which I think he says at one point.
Yep. Oh, good.
You also have too. This is a great selection by Alan, because you see, because you're fresh off 1795 enough to know, man, Barnabas is not a bad guy. He's not a bad dude, really. And because you saw that 1795 Barnabas, you saw how bad things went for him. So you sort of understand even more why he is the way he is. how he doesn't trust other people, how he has to be very cautious. And so, but you're also, you don't, in a weird way, you don't lose any sympathy for Julia at all,
No.
which I like. They were very careful with how they did this, and it was very meticulous. It's such a great episode too, because I love the hypnotism, and Alexandra sells her ass off. So does Grayson too. But they have a great scene up in Vicky's bedroom where she's hypnotizing Vicky, and Vicky's going back from the past, like, Countess, you think I'm a witch, because obviously Grayson played the Countess, but just a lot of great scenes.
This also is a scene, the hypnotism scene is a scene that features the fabled two-sided hypnotic medallion instead of the earlier one-sided. And
Is this the one where Julia accidentally hypnotizes herself?
Yes, it could possibly happen. But also, if you notice, what they've done is they've taken like two, God knows what, anyway, Avon pendants or whatever, and they've Sarah Coventry probably or something like that, and they've literally glued and taped it together.
It's like a Hydrox of
you
hypnosis.
You see the green tape around the outside. Now you probably recognize that, Patrick, as spike tape.
Sure.
Yeah. So they've decided they needed to sort of turbocharge that. So I thought that was quite fun.
Cool. What's some of you guys' favorite scenes in this episode? Because there's so much great character interaction, and we don't get a ton of characters in this episode, but for who we do get, we have such great interaction between Dr. Hoffman, Barnabas, Vicky, Dr. Hoffman, Vicky, and Barnabas. Because there is, as Alan touched upon, there's heavy negotiation between Dr. Hoffman and Barnabas here, because she's cut her hair. Obviously, Grayson has ditched the wig, but I mean, she wants to help him still, but like you said, he doesn't trust her,
and she doesn't quite trust him either. So
Yeah.
there's that. That's why the negotiation will be a continuing thing over the next, couple of weeks or whatever, until things are more solidified between the two of them.
Well, as I recall, it takes an Angelique to really galvanize them.
It does. It takes an Angelique in a car accident.
That's right. That's right.
And which is also a real pivotal moment, and that also speaks to the whole action-packed idea of these episodes.
What a refreshing moment that was. I really liked that for a lot of reasons. Not because Barnabas was in tremendous peril, although there's something exciting about that.
Yes.
It really opened up the show.
It did, because he was the one putting people in peril before 1795. And
he was, and literally it opened up the show, because we got out of Collinwood, we got out of that whole area, and we saw Barnabas in a shockingly I said it, a shockingly new environment, a very modern environment. And this,
yes, right.
Yeah, this really makes him different in a way that I was not expecting to see.
Mm-hmm. It's true. There's a vulnerability here that goes beyond anything we've seen before.
I think too, with 1795, the one thing we do see prior to Barnabas becoming a vampire is his vulnerability as a human being. And I think that's really helped him relatable to the audience. I mean, sure, he's, as my wife said, he's an attractive man for sure. Mm-hmm. But you also have to build sympathy for a character. You have to get beyond the looks to a point.
Yeah. This is very transitional for him, because I agree with you up to a certain point, Jewel, that he's softer around the edges coming back from 1795, but there's still that edge of paranoia, because he's a vampire and he doesn't want his secret discovered. So he's on the verge at all times of doing something not so great, but because he is a little softer and because he is infatuated with Vicky, he's not going to do away with her, obviously. No. So that also contributes to that be in
Yeah,
a different situation.
right. I agree with you. We've seen we've seen Barnabas's moral compass be a little tainted at times for sure, right? But we've also seen it even before 1795 be a little, okay, is this dude really that bad? You got to kidnap Maggie Evans, but he prior to this, Vicky stays the night at the old house, well prior before 1795, and he has every opportunity to bite her and doesn't.
And he refuses.
Yeah, he refuses, and I think that was a big deal too.
Sure.
Before they did that, because I mean, I know the death of Doctor Order is one of the most joked things that I pull up. It's just Peter Turgeon. Nobody cares.
Or Peter Turgeon.
Right.
Or Peter Turgid, as a friend of mine used to call
Peter
it.
Turgid.
Yeah. And it's like, it's really crazy because it's like you really more feel sorry for David. You feel sorry for Dr. Hoffman a bit because she's starting to come around and believe she's pushing for David now. She's like, okay, let's have this seance. She suggests a seance to go back to that's going to lead back to 1795.
Yes.
But the post reaction is, you're right. You see Barnabas you see a lot of the paranoia. The paranoia is still there, which is great. And his decision making is still like,
Gonna have to do something about this.
Something.
I think I'll use my fangs. That kind of thing. But yeah. But of course, that's also a big thrill to the audience. So of course.
I think they do a really great job too of how they handled this in this episode of him biting Vicky, because he doesn't bite her right away. He's talking to her, and he's trying to he himself is trying to find out what she knows specifically.
Of course.
Which I think was really well written by Sam Hall. I mean, I know he's a great writer, but this was a really great job of, because it's easy to say, hey, cue the fans, biter, go ahead, do it.
Yeah, there's good build in that scene. The dialogue builds the tension in that scene. So yes, that's good writing.
Yeah, Patrick, what did you think, man?
I thought it was double plus extra good.
Absolutely.
What did I think about what in specific?
Sorry.
That's okay.
The build up to the biting of Vicky.
I'm glad they had the bite. I mean, do you know what I mean? Hello.
You glad in what way? Sexually, literarily.
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, I mean, sure. But then beyond that, I am glad because it was not a tease.
Right.
This was a legitimate thing, and I'm you know, because so often on the show they wouldn't have done that. It would have been yet another, you know, here we go. Oh, we're so close to the edge. No, we don't.
Right.
And here it's like, oh, here we go.
That's right.
Take that,
there's
Mickey Winters.
There's no teenage angst in the writing in this show.
No.
Right.
And it is such a metaphor. It's almost embarrassing. But you know, basically, it is not, but it is as if Uncle Dan has finally taken off the gloves and said, Ms. Moltke, your time was good, but the time has passed. And the time for a new protagonist, the true protagonist, has risen.
Right.
And he's literally going to drain you. He's going to drain you of plot. He's going to drain you of screen time. And he's going to drain you of your very life itself. And that's exactly what happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, Barnabas literally drains the life out of the prior protagonist, or starts to, because it's clear he is the real protagonist.
Yeah.
And 1795 is the fulcrum of that.
Yeah. Oh yes, that's the preparation for the operation.
Yeah.
Because
You know,
that's
it's a lot.
really Vicky's last big central stuff.
And here's an interesting question. You know, could the right writers and the right audience interest and the right zeitgeistian movement, when they started 1795, had somehow wound up in Vicky's favor? where she still would have emerged as the plucky heroine that everyone's watching. And Barnabas, having explored what Barnabas could do, they were kind of like, well, maybe not.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think they were. Dan was monitoring the ratings extremely closely at this point, and
mhm.
and I think that probably took precedence in his urgency to tell the writers what to do. Bring more of him, less of her, because
Yeah.
obviously, I think it may have been. Dan, I think, was nothing if not straightforward in his desires.
Yes.
Uh, so I think that probably was it. Now, if writers had been given a little more free reign after the show was established as being stable, and somebody came to champion her, who knows?
Hmm.
Who knows?
Hmm.
Let's
But that
let's
didn't happen.
It did not happen.
no, that did not happen. Let's play what if. What if it during 1795 Vicky does discover Barnabas's secret, but she's still going to the gallows, right? She's gonna hang. There's nothing she can really do. She doesn't tell anybody his secret. She keeps it to herself, even near death, even to the point of she doesn't know what's going to happen. She goes back to her own time.
Yeah.
She sees Barnabas, and he realizes she knows. Sort of like how in the 91 revival to a degree. But what we get in the original would be her going to him and going, I know what you are.
Right.
And
And I know what you are, and I know know.
Right. Do you go down that rabbit hole?
They could conceivably and just do what they did with Maggie and give her the Hoffman treatment if they wanted to keep the character.
Yeah.
Because Julia even says, if I find out she knows anything, I can do the same thing. She says it in this episode we're talking about that I did to Maggie, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, there is always that possibility. There's also the possibility that she becomes, the secondary female detective in pursuit of solving the mysteries of Collinwood with Barnabas in tow. Any number of possibilities could happen, but a lot had to do with. I don't think Dan wanted to outright, erase Vicky, because I think he and certainly some of the writers understood that she was the inside experience for all of the housewives.
Yeah.
And the kids, of course, it's going to be David, and of course everybody's going to be overstimulated about Barnabas, if anybody under the age of 20. But for the housewives that originally tuned into the show, and they wanted to retain the audience they had as well as grow it. I think Vicky provided that legitimate identification, at least for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think by the end of this episode, the what if factor I would have added to this is as he's going to bite her, as he's getting closer to the neck, you don't have the cutoff. Here's where you have the cutoff. Was Angelique really a witch? There's your cutoff.
Boy, that would be quite a block as he's going in for the bite, and she says,
right?
Is Angelique really a witch? Oh,
because does he bite her then, or does he step back?
Right. I think that might interrupt some things.
Right. We don't get that, but it'd have been interesting.
Get bitus interruptus.
Right. Oh my gosh. But what are your thoughts, Patrick? Sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And once again, I concur with your wisdom completely.
Oh my gosh. What you guys?
These things go on, Joel. They go on for so long. I'm just listening. I become an audience member. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is cool. This is good. What, I'm in it? I'm on the show? Oh, God. Yes, of course, I agree with everyone, especially the people who said the things that the public likes. I agree with those a lot.
We enjoy your pulsing avatar.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh. What's you guys' favorite scenes in this episode?
That's how. It's always a great question. It's a tough question because
Always.
many of these episodes, it's one big favorite scene. It is all the means to an end. One of the experiences I especially remember when I was in the real dead heat of writing the daybook is how there would be so many dark shadow scenes that would be completely gripping when I'd be in the middle of them, and then right after I would ask myself, Frederick, what happened in that scene? And
Yeah.
It's
I'd be
all
at
it's
a
all about emotion
loss.
rather than intellectualizing it.
I would be at a total loss
Yeah.
because they're written for things to seem like they're happening, but to not really happen.
Mhm.
It's a really that is the concealed art of soap opera writing. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I really, really, really think it is. That's that. They say the art is in concealing the art, and that's what I think they're talking about when they
There's,
when they say that.
yes, there's
Yeah.
a lot of transference of inner life sometimes that goes on with the viewer as they're watching something unfold psychologically. You get
Yeah.
an inner life sort of connection to that, even if there's not much going on. There's something going on, but it's not action.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really fun episode to watch. My favorite scene in this is just the negotiation between Barnabas and Joel is so
Yeah.
good.
That's
I also
well,
love that set. It's
Yes.
at night. It's a great atmospheric little set. So
if you if is that's the garden?
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
terrace.
Well, okay. So talking about that scene, really, Barnabas, biting Vicky and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, not that important. I mean, the fact that she's driving the car that he's in when he has the accident, and it's Jeff Clark, and that would have, but and that's all good and well.
Yes,
But really, the that's accidental, literally accidental.
no
The
pun
the
intended.
volitional thing that's so important here that makes the episode such a watershed has to do with the beginning of the détente between Barnabas and Julia and the dawn of their friendship.
That's going to bear some significant fruit, no doubt, no doubt.
It is for the rest of the series,
Hmm.
the series proper. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. That's the value it has for me. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Joel, let me ask you something.
Mm.
May we now put the question to Alan?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, resolve. This episode and perhaps the one before it and the one or two after it uh, could be considered a soft reboot for the series.
Yes, I do
Okay,
believe.
why?
Why? Because it basically, it's it's the foundation for the soft reboot at the very least. It's laying the groundwork for some real radical changes to happen, some new characters to be introduced. A lot of stuff is going to go on very shortly. So and the lot of stuff that's going on will be related to what's going on before, but will be its own animal, expanded, explained, all of this sort of things that's going to be going on. Now that we have explained the whole situation in 1795 with why Barnabas got what he got, and he did get what's coming to him on one level, there's no doubt about that. But also, we also know that he was a decent guy, so there's some character development laid in underneath for later reference. And so to me it is a reboot. It's also taking Barnabas in a different direction, and solves the problem of modern Barnabas no longer having to be a villain to drive the story.
Okay, well, there we are.
Here we are.
There we are. Jewel and I had we had. I'm still not mentioning sides or anything like that. We had a famous, almost uh, uh, Dean and Jerry level feud
Uh-oh.
over
over,
that
over
question.
that concept.
Yeah,
I'm open to any and all interpretations. That's what's fun about this show. You
it is
know?
fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Or I could just go, "Hey, Dino, it's my turn."
Oh, shit. It's always fun to get together and have a conversation, no matter what, man.
Awesome.
What do you guys want to do tomorrow night?
Besides smoke opiate? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I'm open. I'm open.
Uh,
I don't know. What do you feel like?
whatever you guys want to do, whether it's a movie or another episode of DS, whatever you want to do.
Well, I've been itching to do some more movies. It's been a long time. It's almost a conspicuous
It's
lack of cinema.
been a couple weeks at least. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a while.
So I think Can't Stop the Music maybe stopped the movies.
Can't stop the music, but we can stop the cinema.
Now I have some of it depends on availability of newer films and things like that.
Mhm.
Certainly, The Monkey I'd be interested in talking about. It's Osgood Perkins movie from the man who made Long Legs, but I don't know how available that is. The let's see, what else do we have?
What year was that film, The Monkey?
It's on
Pardon?
Hulu.
It is. It
Yeah, it's
already
on
made it to Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Okay.
Monkey's a very interesting film. I think Osgood Perkins, who's the son of Marlon, no, is the son of Anthony Perkins, has become a very very interesting filmmaker on his own. Um, just out of curiosity, do you guys have a Canopy?
I do not. I think I
Oh,
might
you
have
should
at
keep
one
one
time.
under the bed.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. No. I think I might have at one time, but I do not.
It is worth if you give Julie, you have a library card? Richard, you got one?
I
Like
have a
digital
library
or-
card. I have a library.
That's right.
Um,
Okay, you have a library. Okay, well, do you know about Canopy?
No.
It's the thinking man's Tubi, but it's not snobby either.
Ah.
It is an amazing collection of movies and TV and stuff like that. And they have everything from very recent, interesting horror and comedy and A24 type stuff to Attack the Crab Monsters. But it's all curated. It's not accidental. It's not like,
uh-huh.
well, we're gonna fill up these 2 hours, so let's do that. Like I'm Canopy right now. I'm looking at, and it really is something that deserves, I think, attention. Attention must be paid. So let's see. Just looking at how things are arranged right now, thinking about Diane Warren. Let's see. That's in documentaries. It's just like going up. It's really fascinating group of things. Okay, so like the first line here, Alienoid, Monsters, which is a good movie, Kiss of the Damned, Colossal, which is a great movie, Sasquatch, Sunset, Attacking the Crab Monsters, Francis Ford Coppola, Dracula, Original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Cloverfield, American Werewolf in London, Original Night of the Living Dead. Next line, they got The Void, they've got Mother, The Endless, which is an interesting film. Anyway, it's just a wacky combination of films.
Mhm.
So I do that as a pitch to anybody watching. That it's a great resource.
Cool.
Cool.
It's in the App Store.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and it's free. It's
Cool.
free, and the movies are all free. You can only watch so many a week because I think they want to pointlessly simulate the main limitation of the library.
Sure.
Um,
I also
why?
have
I don't
Club
know.
that has some films on it as well. But
Yeah.
Monkey is
Well-
really new too. It's this year, right?
Yeah, Monkey is new. Well,
Yeah.
it's so's Long Legs was I think of this year, and those are both Osgood Perkins movies, and so at least Long Legs is on Canopy,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
makes no sense because it was recent and it made money and got attention. So I almost I would be curious about a Perkins double feature because they're both very disturbing movies, interesting movies, and they both are very different in tone.
Mm.
So do you want to do both movies tomorrow night then?
I wouldn't do both in one night. I would
Okay,
maybe
okay,
do one night and one the next.
Okay.
If you want to start out with the more serious one, then that would be Long Legs.
Okay.
And then Monkey, and then watch that with the knowledge that the Monkey, which is based on a Stephen King story, is infinitely more user friendly.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So do you want to do Long Legs tomorrow night then?
Would you do you know anything about the movie, Joel?
I've never seen it.
Did you follow how it was advertised?
No.
No.
Alan, do you remember how this thing was advertised?
No, I don't.
Almost like it was a real serial killer
Yeah.
situation, and clues were being sent out. Really clever, really clever movie. It was a movie because I suffer from cataplexy, which means that very intense emotional experiences cause me to lose consciousness, and which is why I stayed awake through all of Dark Shadows 2012. And thank you. Hey Julie, hello, Senorita Wences. Long Legs, I did not really see because it kept passing out. It was so, for me, it was so terrifying in its implications and in the way it was made. It's a hell of a movie.
Yeah, we'll watch Long Legs tomorrow night. That'll be fine.
Okay.
Cool.
That'll be fine.
I get some long legs.
Yes, yes you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Link to Patrick McCray's Dark Shadows Daybook Unbound is going to be in the description box. Link to Alan Gallant's YouTube channel. Colin Sport After Dark is going to be in the description box. You guys have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow night. Be safe.
Snip wisely.
Bye, guys.